This video is going to walk through your Zoom meeting room environment and your toolbar meeting controls. Right now I have screen sharing turned on and I have my entire desktop being shared so that I can show you the meeting controls. When screen sharing is turned on, you will see a screen sharing toolbar as well. I have annotations turned on in my meeting room settings, so that's why the annotation tool is here. I also have polling turned on in my meeting room settings over at zoom.us in my account settings, and that's why polling shows up here as well. So some of these tools will not show up unless you enable them in your account settings. Please review the account settings help doc and video to help you decide which settings you'd like to enable. So we're just going to look at the tools from left to right on this toolbar to begin with. Your audio input and output is found on this microphone icon. Right next to the tool is an up arrowhead that shows you all the options that you can select. So I have 3 different options for microphone on my computer. Yours will look different. Or may look different. I have 3 different speaker options on my computer. We both have a way to test our speaker microphone, the option to switch to phone audio in case our session audio is just not working for some reason. We could quickly dial in, or we could leave computer audio altogether. Next to the audio is the video on this icon with the video camera. Again, there's an up arrow with options to select. Virtual background is here as well. And you have more video settings that you can choose from. If you want to turn your camera off, simply click on top of it, and the profile picture that you uploaded on your account will be displayed instead of your video image. You can mute, and those just toggle on and off. This security shield icon gives you options to control your participants, lock your meeting so that no one else can join, or have them come to a waiting room before they're allowed to join the general meeting. When you have the waiting room enabled, you have to let them in. They don't just come in. And you'll see your participants icon light up orange and tell you, hey, there's someone that wants to come in, and you can click a button to admit them and allow them to come in, or you can remove them completely from the waiting room. These settings will override anything you've set on your meeting settings when you schedule it or in your personal meeting room. So just know that this will take precedence over anything that you've scheduled previously. In the participants window, you'll see the names of all your participants. I have nonverbal cues enabled so that students can click these different icons to give me a cue about how the session's going for them, or if I ask them a question, they can answer yes or no. And in more, there's some other cute little icons. Now, right next to the person's name on that horizontal strip, you'll see for your participants, for your students, you'll see that their microphone is either on or muted, or their webcam is on or muted. You also have an option to remove them from the room from this area as well. I'll just go ahead and close out the participant window. Right next to that is chat. I don't have anyone in my room to chat with, so right now my messages would go to everyone. If there's more people in my session, I can click a box right here and select their name from a drop-down and send them a private message if I like. I have file transfer enabled in my settings, so I'm able to send a file from my computer to students in my session. If you don't have that file transfer enabled, the only way you can share files is by clicking share screen, going to files, and then you only have the option to share from Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. So be sure to set up that file transfer option in your chat settings if you'd like to be able to do that. I have polling set up, so I can click polling and ask a question that I've already typed this in before our session here. Set this up, I can launch the poll. I'll see responses as they come in. I can end it and then share the results. My recording controls allow me to pause or stop at any time. The actual recording of the meeting will be downloaded to my computer after I've closed the session. So I don't get the recording when I hit stop. I get the recording when the meeting room is closed completely. When you initiate the recording, you'll see a radio button, a round dial that says record. You click that. This little cue in the upper left-hand corner shows up for you and your students so they know that they're being recorded as well. And you can pause it and stop it from here. When you initiate the recording, be sure to have the recording be sent to your computer and not to the cloud. We don't maintain any cloud recordings at CSU Pueblo for users. So be sure to save it to your own computer. You can save it to your computer and then upload it to YouTube, have it automatically caption it, and then delete it off your computer to save storage space on your own device. I have breakout rooms enabled in my account settings. This is a very powerful tool for online teaching. You can do jigsaws, you can have small work groups, you can give students assignments or something to read and come back and report out on. There's lots of different ways you can use breakout rooms. So to enable them, you just click breakout rooms. It'll tell you how many participants you have in your session, and then you can decide how you'd like to divide them up. You could have Zoom chuck them into a room automatically, randomly creating groups, or you can manually select students' names and then click create the breakout rooms. Once the breakout room is created, you're able to move between the breakout rooms using an option in that tool setting. If the session is being recording, the recording follows you, not the entire group. So there's no recording of what's happening in the breakout rooms. But students do have access to file sharing and to sharing the whiteboard. And they can also download the whiteboard and save it. So they can have a really rich work session. They can chat out from a breakout room. So if anyone needs help, they can throw a chat message out and you'll see that room 2 needs help, and you can pop into room 2 and give them some assistance and then come out and go on into another room. Reactions are nonverbal cues that you don't have to enable. These are just here. Students' video windows will show the reaction that they selected. I just selected the clap, so here's the reaction in my window. And that will just hang out there for a second and it goes away. It fades away in a few minutes, a few seconds. When you're sharing, you have tools down here related just to your share. You can pause your share and then initiate a new share. To share, simply click the share and then select the application, the desktop, or the whiteboard. You can also share Apple devices, and you can share portions of your screen, only sound, or a second camera like a doc cam if you're working out math problems on an old-fashioned like Elmo doc cam. You can also annotate directly onto the screen. So here in this window, I can annotate here. I can also annotate, let's see, let's clear. So here's my annotation toolbar. So I have all these options. I can clear it, clear all those drawings. You have different stamps, arrows, hearts, X's, checks. Someone's got a question, something looks confusing, they could drop a stamp on there. Students can type text and they can draw as well. To get to release any of the drawing tools and get your mouse back, just click mouse. It can be saved by clicking save, and then you can just close that tool out there. To get to the whiteboard, so you have a blank space to annotate upon, you can click Screen Share, come over to the Basic panel, and then click Whiteboard. Nothing is shared until you click Share, and there it is. So you have a nice white space. If students have touchscreen devices, they can work out math problems on this page. Lots of different ways that you can use a virtual whiteboard. Again, nothing is shared until this orange bar is green. And now we see that we're screen sharing. So now students would be able to see the whiteboard and they can write on it, and so can I. I'll go ahead and stop the share. When you're ready to leave the session, you can click End. It's going to ask you if you want to leave the meeting for everyone, or just you leave the meeting. You can leave your session open and let your students continue to work if they need a virtual collaboration space, or you can close it out for the entire group. A couple of icons to take a look at the top of the page. I can enter full screen. If there is more than just me in a session, you'll also have options to control the way the videos are presented when people have their cameras on. You can go between a gallery view and a speaker view. You can also drag that video panel so that it appears horizontally or vertically on your screen as well. You can just drag it out of the way if you'd like. The meeting information button just gives you information about your meeting, what the ID is, what the URL is. If you want to invite someone during the meeting, you can grab the link and copy it really quickly and email that out to someone. The shield tells me that my client connection is encrypted. I turned encryption on in my account settings, so that's why that shows up that way. And that's a quick run through of your Zoom environment. One thing I recommend strongly that really helped me when I first started using Zoom is to open up Zoom as a teacher on your computer and then join as a participant either on your phone, a tablet, or another computer, so that you can see what happens when you're trying out all of these different features. It helps you learn how to share more smoothly, how to work with your audio and video, how to monitor the chat windows. So definitely practice. If you have some colleagues that you can practice with, or someone in your family that you could get to log in, that's a great help as well. So please let us know if we can be of any more assistance to you with learning how to use the Zoom environment. You can reach us at helpdesk@csupueblo.edu.